That should be enough that we don't wake up till... Okay. We woke up seconds before daylight. That's fine. Oh, let's top off our water. Yes. Getting a little bit sad. Because, or I'm sorry, not sad. We're getting bored. All right, no one cares about that. Our boredom will be fixed. Just we'll walk outside, we'll hit a zombie, and it'll be all better. We also might want to go back in not too long because of the we've been driving this around this place and we are slowly running ourselves out of gas. Used about a quarter of a gas tank, I believe, to get there. Alright, light fog. Tomorrow is light fog, okay. You know, we keep talking about going back to get our fish on. As in eating the fish. We can't really catch anything right now. So I say we start heading back. Yeah, it's like you spend the entire day and you're like, you've killed 1,000 zombies and you fought for your life and things got super sketch a number of times. And then you get down, you're like, I sat down for 2 hours. I'm bored. Oh, Ellen. I'm actually doing pretty good with the posture. Oh, and Integer, I did look into. You were talking about doing the donation the other day. So, the credit card donation thing, I looked at it on Streamlabs. Basically, the thing that says credit card donation doesn't work worth a damn, is what it boils down to. It's actually put like a support ticket and everything. But what they were actually suggesting is I remove it from there entirely, and then through PayPal you can do credit card donations, where you don't like actually need PayPal. But yeah, support wasn't exactly helpful. They're just kind of like, yeah, it's garbage. Have them use PayPal. So, just figured I'd fill you in. I did add to the About section just, you know, basically kind of letting people know it's like, hey, if you don't want to use PayPal, like, this is how you can go through PayPal without having a PayPal. I also get people who don't want to go through PayPal because PayPal, and I understand and appreciate... Oh god, that turned snowy in a second. Holy crap, that was actually kind of scary. I basically got jump scared by snow. Whole screen just popped white all of a sudden. Yep, I figured I'd check since you asked. And I mentioned this before on stream, like I don't expect people to donate. Like I obviously appreciate it and all that. Like if you want to, I'm not gonna tell you no. Make sure you're taking care of yourself first and all that. Like I am not struggling to live or anything. Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah, I doubt they have any type of distribution. Like that's the thing, like the merch, and I think I have it in the About section. It's like the way it's priced, because I can change the prices and all that. All of the merch, you're basically donating $5 towards the channel, and then the rest of the price is however much the item costs. And that's actually what Streamlabs recommends for it. They're just like, okay, like baseline, $5. And like, you guys probably have a lot more data on this than I do, so I'm just gonna go with it. Like, I debated reducing it to be, like, at cost. And then, like, But, like, for me to do that, I would have to, you know, sit there and put, like, you know, twitch.tv, slash roll store, so it's, like, promotional or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to do that. Because I personally I'm unwilling to, like, buy products that do that most of the time. Like, where it's just too overt of an advertisement. the joke is if I'm advertising your product, you know, I should get a cut. Yeah, so I just see it as $5 donation to channels anytime you buy merch, and you just get what you want. But yeah, I've experienced ridiculous shipping stuff. There was some goods I wanted to get from I used to be big into EVE Online back in the day, and so I wanted to get, you know, a couple of cool shirts and everything I saw that CCP had and all that, which is the company that makes. Shipping from Iceland to the United States is really, really rough. Really rough. I did end up getting like one of their shirts, and I think I paid as much in the shipping as I did for the freaking shirt. Yeah. No, I gotcha. I also had that with Elite Dangerous. Originally, the merch only shipped from the UK. It was kind of the same thing where it cost you through the nose. It wasn't as bad as Iceland, but it was pretty rough. But with everything going on over there, they actually have, I want to say, some distribution agreements with some other locations, which makes it way more reasonable. Ah, Sparhawk. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can do to help diagnose that it may not be something so dire. You know, the classic check your hard drive space. There's cleanup tools for a lot of basic stuff. Check for, like, running crap in the background, especially nowadays with stuff like, you know, everyone having apps in their app store where stuff can run in the background, constantly pooling system resources without you being aware of it. So it's not dire or anything yet, but it can be an indicator. Yeah, Iceland is one. So like, there's a list of places I want to visit someday, and Reykjavik, Iceland is one of the ones higher on that list because I have heard so many amazing things about Iceland during its green season. That like I've heard it's one of the most beautiful places to go. Granted, of course, New Zealand is also on that list for some of the most beautiful places you can go. Very different beauty, though. I've also heard, well, not perhaps beautiful might not be the word for it. Interesting that New Zealand has a lot of stuff like there's the were they sulfur geysers that I've heard are absolutely fascinating. But, you know, I understand they're about the most unpleasant smell you can imagine. Yeah, so the actual challenge is to kill them all. That's our our ultimate objective. When I say kill them all, I'm not literally going to go and skulk through the forest looking for the one zombie I don't know if or if not is there. But to make progress, I'm going to have to, you know, wipe out one city at a time. Yep, no, and I'm familiar with some of the some places that have those kind of things where it's like, this is amazing to see. Also, my nose. Why my nose? There's been some caves here in the U.S. that I've gotten to check out that are really awesome that also are fairly rank in the smell because of all like the natural minerals and all that, and the sediment settling and bats doing bad things and all that kind of stuff. But still fascinating. Like Grand Canyon is a very fascinating thing if you've ever seen it, because you look at it and your brain's just like, nope, can't process it. Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we've done other challenge runs. Like we've done the release CDDA. We've done there was a run that was created by Recrafted, RHI Crafted, called the Survivor Man Challenge. Sadly, with the foraging rework, Survivor Man Challenge is I don't think doable anymore. Not in the original, not in the original rule set. It has to be adapted. Because the Survive Man challenge is basically you couldn't use any weapons you didn't craft yourself or came in a survival kit to start with. And after 5 days, you weren't allowed to live in the city. You were allowed to, you know, go into the city to grab stuff, but when you go to sleep and everything, you got to go home to a base you build, and you may not use an existing structure. So you get the idea behind it. But with the foraging changes, it's just so difficult to get weapons, you know, that you can craft in a meaningful amount until you get high enough foraging. So it really, really hammered that challenge. I might actually revisit it because I don't think anyone's attempted it since the changes because it's so obviously, you know, the balance has changed so much. I've done Death Trait Run. That was a lot of fun. I don't think I'm going to do it again anytime soon because as much fun as it was, having no sounds gets tiresome. Not even for like the challenge side of it, just being in silence everywhere. Yeah, I would agree, Integer Smirk. And I don't think there's a single challenge I can come up with that doesn't have that problem of as you get your character established, the game gets easier. That is one of the things about Project Zomboid is when you look at the game's difficulty curve, it either starts at the highest difficulty or it ramps up to day 28 that it becomes the highest difficulty. Yeah, no, that's fine like, if you play that style. It's just, after a while, I'm like, the silence is oppressive. I can't. I need... Because for those who haven't done Death Trait, the only sound you hear is that bag, and I think there's like one thing like unzipping a bag. I think it's like the only sounds that plays. You don't get the banjo when you level stuff. You get nothing. No alarms, no zombies, so it's not even like the difficulty part of it, it's just the silence. Yeah, it's a psychological challenge against the player. I can agree to that, and like I said, I had a good time. We survived. I did it my very first attempt. And we survived to 3 months and some change, I believe it was. And I didn't die because of like what you would expect with death, like something sneaking up behind me and getting a hold of me or whatever. I think I just misplayed a fight if I remember correctly. Like I went to go for a swing I shouldn't have kind of situation is I think what ultimately got that character. I don't remember. It's been a long time. That was a while. Yeah, I've done I wouldn't even say as a challenge, I've done nomadic playstyle. Like, there's a lot of people who that's just how they play. Now, granted, there's certain challenges you could put together. Like, I don't think it would be feasible to do a nomadic run where we're dealing with super high pops. Like, I don't think that would be a feasible challenge. Right, these are all full at this point. Luckily, we've begun our expansion back here. Yeah, I swinged when I should have swung. Is precisely what happened. That exact thing is what happened. But yeah, as you can see, I'm expanding my storage. Because I got tired of everything being full and mixing stuff where it ought not be. I believe I have another katana to add to that collection because the katanas have been just dropping for us. And it has been wonderful and amazing. Alright, still doing good on fuel and repair. Right, we got the 9mm out of her. Yes, lucky. Even for lucky, the amount we found has been absurd. Yeah, when I was doing so when it came to living nomadic, that's because I was doing the really CDDA, and a lot of times for the most of the early part of really CDDA, just by necessities of locating food, you have to play nomadic. You can't just settle down someplace. Um, and so my solution for that was basically try to go out of my way to go where I could find large backpacks. And then once I got some large backpacks, I would do this daisy chain thing where I'd drop one large backpack in one place, go on to the next place with the one that just had my survival stuff. You know, fight the zombies, do all that to move in, then circle back for my other large backpack that's just like full of canned goods and all that kind of crap. I've seen a few katanas this run. This here represents more katanas than I've seen in my entire Project Zomboid career, excluding this run. This is just a absolutely ridiculous number of katanas. And we're not running any mods or anything like that. That is just vanilla being like, you know what? I think you deserve some katanas. I've been getting that a lot for some reason. I don't really understand. I mean, just look at this bed. It's just, this bed is just full of tradition. Like, you lay in this bed and you feel like you're in feudal Japan all over again. The perfectly normal bed that has nothing special about it, and then katanas. Not that they would have a bed like that in feudal Japan. Alright, so we need to bulk. Because we're getting ready to be underweight, and I don't like it. It knows what happened in that other playthrough. Which other playthrough you're talking about? There's been a few that have had stuff. Oh, do you mean the one where I got the katana, went full on Superman complex, and then died? Yeah. I mean, that actually is a pretty normal thing to happen to people. You get the katana, you're just like, I'm unstoppable. And then just overextend yourself. Nomadic. So for like a challenge, I don't know. But I would imagine for the challenge, you'd probably have like a tent. Or you just sleep in houses. Basically, the idea is you don't have one place you stay. You move around. I don't have a lighter on me. Now, I could see having a nomadic challenge where it's not just move around, like you don't stay in the same house twice kind of thing, but like really kind of push it where it says like you can only stay in a town for X number of days or something. Oh, no. So Survivor Man Challenge would be more like the indigenous people because that's like living off the wilderness, which that's one of the rules of the Survivor Man Challenge was you had to survive on like the first 5 days. Most of the rules didn't apply other than you could only use crafted weapons or the weapons you started with. But after that point, you had to use nature as your primary food source and water source. So you couldn't just use sinks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's the same thing that Moribund is saying, is that you can never sleep in the same place twice, and you can't store anything outside of what you can carry. So, like, you could jot down that says, okay, I know there's canned goods in this house, but, like, once you pick up those canned goods, your choices are either A, you carry them with you, or you dump them on the ground or whatever. But you can't, like, deliberately keep dumping them in the same place. And every time I hear this song, all I can think is it sounds like a Sims, like, you know, load screen track or something. I literally just pulled them out of the fire and it's like, these are better hot. Look, man, they haven't been out in the heat for more than like 30 seconds. They're already cold. Yeah. And I'm sure you could come up with all sorts of challenges around like that as well, where it's just, Alright, so we're gonna mix stuff up. Mix in a little fish, because I also need to get some of these veggies that are gonna go stale. But the point is I want to start making it so we're getting calories from our food as opposed to just losing. Yep, alright, so I think what we're going to do is, because I need to kill some time, we're not really in a good place to like go back out, because we aren't going to get far before we have to turn around. So I'm going to start organizing this crap, because I've been meaning to. So all the gun stuff, get in the bag. Alright. Thank you everyone who's been tuning in, who's been lurking, who's been chatting, who's been following, subscribing, doing the bits, the donuts, the hosts, the raids, and all of that good stuff. It all helps and I really do appreciate it. I do hope you're all enjoying the stream. Because I built this giant storeroom back here because I was getting tired of us running out of storage. And so now I'm trying to fix our storage in the main room by moving some of the stuff back here in an organized fashion. So now I'm going to actually take the time to be like, this is the gun one. And what I ought to do is take one of the guns I don't care about and put it on top. So I like know just from walking it's like, oh, that's where the guns go. In fact, which one of these 36 is in the worst shape? They're all in great shape. That doesn't help me. Whatever gun's in like the worst shape, I'll put up top there. Alright, I think that's all our bullets and guns. Okay, one of these shotguns will be a perfect match, because I've got a ton of these shotguns. Yeah, it's been overdue for a while just because of how much it messes. I'm still surprised we're like mid-December before we're finally getting some proper snow on the ground. Like that's how long it's taken us to get a proper snow. Okay, so let's see. Grab all of our one-hander weapons. Thank you for the follow. The H. Welcome to the stream. And if I've mispronounced that, let me know, and I'll try and do better in the future. When I'm talking one-hander weapons, I'm actually talking weapons that go on your back. Or on your side, sorry. Alright, what goes on top? Just like the letter. Okay. Yep, thank you. We're just kind of chilling. Yeah, we're just kind of chilling because we were about halfway through today before we finally cleared up. So, oh, we're in a comment about the snow. It apparently got just warm enough the snow's melting. That's lame. We're in middle December. It's not supposed to be that hot. Yep. Nah, so we're taking a break from the meat grinder because by the time we drove up there, it'd already be night. So we're just like, nah, we've been waiting to organize this for a while. Let's just organize it. Get it dealt with. Because this has been full for a while. Oh, the sling needs to go with the guns. Oh, I accidentally put a shovel in that R1. Shovel shouldn't be there because it's not a one-handed weapon. Or sorry, not a side weapon, it's a back weapon. Alright. Yeah, and we're past 18,000 zombie kills. Today has been a very productive day for our battle. Or not today, but I mean like real life day has been a very productive day for the battle. The stream. Because we've easily put on like another 3,000 kills or so. Ooh, I'm gonna need 2 boxes for this. No problem, that's why I built so much storage. And while I like nightsticks, so it's like, oh, why would you put a good weapon up there? I'm like, I've got so many of them. And we find so many of them, I'm actually not worried about it. Once you start getting to like maintenance 5 and 6, I mean, I've got 10 there. I've got 16 nightsticks, not counting the one on top. So there's a shovel axe I put in here. That doesn't go in there. That's a 2. That's a main weapon. You get out of there for now. Okay, that one's never been repaired. I have some of these machetes I've already repaired almost as many times as you can, so let's try instead putting the medicine over here. Yeah, playing RimWorld, messing around with Luciferum is always scary. Like, if someone's like, oh, I can get a bunch of Luciferum, and you're kind of staring at it going, but that means that I also have a bunch of Luciferum. Do I really want to go this path? Is this what I want to do with my life? Because once one of my pawns pops a Luciferum, we are now committed to this for the rest of our lives. Yeah, where I have, you probably noticed where I have a whole bunch of kitchen knives and a whole bunch of scissors and all that. That's just because when you start these 16x pop runs, people will ask me, it's like, so what is the weapon you prefer the most? Like, whichever one I have that can actually hurt a zombie. Like, it doesn't matter. You get desperate for whatever weapon you can find. Alright, so which one's been repaired the most here? 4 times. I see nothing wrong with sleeping in the bed with all the katanas. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, I keep them well sharpened. You don't want a dull blade. That's how you get hurt. There was on Reddit a while ago that it was this whole meme going around from people playing Project Zomboid. And it was just like the person going, I love getting all this loot and collecting it all. I would love it even more, like getting loot and all that together. I would love it even more if someone would help me organize it. I'm very fortunate that the people I play multiplayer with, uh, the group, not like my wife is actually doesn't do a whole lot with the organizing loot, which is fine. But the people that I play the game with, other than that, do a really good job of actually just organizing loot. I'll just put the tools in with here, that's fine. This will just be electronics and electronic parts, I think. Okay, I know my medical is spilled over into other cabinet because things got full. Like that's the reason I need to organize this, because we just kept getting stuff full and it's like, alright, well I guess this goes in the other cabinet now. Cool. I feel like the antidepressants is too hard to figure out what that's supposed to be. There, that's more obvious. There's a reason I haven't been picking up the painkillers hardly ever, the antidepressants or anything like that. Like if I see them, sometimes I'll pick up. A lot of times it's like I don't even care. I've got so many. Oh, trowel will already be on something. Area place for flashlights. This is all the electronic crap. Okay. Stuff we can wear will go in there. Alright, so I need a tailoring area, so we'll grab this. I actually grab all of it because I'll just. That's no one. Almost always keep my trapping, fishing, and farming stuff together. Okay, so what would be the best way to mark this? Probably one of these. You can't place it. Never mind. Cool. Alright, so random junk. So we got more tailoring. We'll have to separate that out. Sure. This will just be like all of our just random miscellaneous crap. And I'm thinking I'm going to keep the food itself inside the main room. Alright, so I already got a miscellaneous crap drawer, so let's go. I see you have a master's degree in Longblade. Yeah, I've used a few long blades at this point. Just a couple. Alright, so let's see. I think this is all fine because I don't actually care much right now. That's good. Grab that because that's not food. And there's a roach, which I toss those in here because they're edible, but you can use those for fishing, so maybe someday I will. We'll see. And a tent kit that I don't know where I'm going to put. Let's just put the tent kit here. I don't really have a plan for where it should actually go. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. Got a bunch of organized shelves now. This basically is food in here. Oh, we still have a bunch of stuff chucked in the corner here, don't I? Let's clear that off the floor. Not the katanas. The katanas stay. Alright, so the third propane, like, if I found a welding mask, great. We could be tearing apart so much metal stuff to get this weight out of here. But I still haven't found one because, you know, 16x pop, going anywhere is a chore. Alright, put the plaster and all that stuff in here. Because I also need to find a paintbrush, because once I do that I can take one of these rooms and, like, actually plaster the walls and paint it and all that good stuff. Make ourselves a fancy little room. Right, so I still have a tire sitting on the floor here. I'm going to take that outside. Oh yeah, but our character does have her doctorates. She has a just a regular doctorate as well as a doctorate in surgery. She went to the arduous process of walking into the pharmacy, taking a crowbar to a couple of zombies, and then taking the degrees as her own. But she is now a doctorate, and if you disagree, I mean, you can confront her about it. I wouldn't. Her specialty is in crowbar-related surgeries, so maybe be careful about what you decide to do. I still don't know where I want to put this sand. Like, I don't really have a place for it. I've debated putting it over by the flamingos so that hopefully not as much will show up blocking the textures on it, but yeah. I do feel like the empty sacks that I can put up here with the, you know, we'll just put them in here. Seems like a good place for them, because then I can put all those empty sacks in there for whenever we go to pick up more gravel. Oh, cool. Well, best of luck with that. I know it's difficult to, like, get yourself to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to college kind of thing. But I've known a lot of people who've done it and they've been very happy about the results on the other side of it. None of them went to acupuncture, but they've gone to different things. Okay, so I have... That light is clearly out. So yeah. This one I need a new light bulb for. I've been meaning to try this for a while. I think I'm going to hate it, but let's put a green light bulb in there. Because, you know. Okay, that's fine. I was expecting it to be very... That's fine. I was expecting it to be extremely green when it showed. Like, the light's green there, but the light, so far as what it puts in the ground, looks normal, so I'm cool with it. Oh, turn off the other one? I can live with that. It gets the green bulb out of her life.